Hey lovelies, assalamu alaikum. I hope you all are doing amazing wherever you are. I hope this video finds you well. Da fata kowa na lafiya ko ina da kike ko ina da kake. Na fata wanga video ya same ki ya same ka da lafiya. So guys, a lot has been happening. A lot has been happening. There's quite a lot of stories that I'm hearing that is happening. Subhanallah, what is going on? Dunya, where are we taking this world? Why have we lost our sense of empathy? Why have we lost our fear of the Almighty? Like these days, everybody is doing whatever he or she likes. Now we have forgotten about Allah. We have forgotten about the day of judgment. Like everybody is doing their heart desires, forgetting that there's the controller of this universe and the controller of our lives who is watching over us and who can turn this dunya at any point, at any time. Wallahi, let's fear Allah. Let's be mindful of our actions. Let's always think about Akhirah. Let's always think about tomorrow. If we are called to hold accountability of our actions, whatever we are doing. Well, so today I want to share one of the stories that I heard this week. And I hope we all draw lessons from it. Okay, so there's this truck driver who was alerted by his neighborhood that the wife is cheating. Okay, she's sleeping with another man behind him. So after he was tipped off, he quickly rushed home to the scene, but unfortunately he did not come to meet the wife and the alleged man in the intimate actions. Okay, apparently the whole action was done, but as soon as he stormed the house, he just went straight to the woman and caught her and tied her to the wall. So upon shouting and all, this then alleged man who was said to be in the bathroom heard the voice of the husband. Heard everything that was happening outside, and then he took to his heels. Okay, so I want to take this issue one after the other. I learned the truck driver like travels. Okay, whenever he goes away, he stays about 3 to 4 months before coming. I don't know the kind of arrangement he had with his wife. I don't know what has been happening before the incident. Allahu alam, only Allah knows. Okay, so I'm going to start with the woman. Let's be conscious of Allah. Let's fear Allah in whatever we are doing. One, I know you know the kind of job your husband is doing, in the sense that he stays away 3 months, 4 months. You are aware. Upon realizing that you cannot stay that long, you yearn for him. I believe there should have been a discussion of you telling him how much him staying away, how much him taking all those times is affecting you, and how much you sometimes want him by your side. This should have been a table of discussion. The action that she took, we condemn it. Islam condemns it. It's an abomination. That is the one of the highest sins Allah frowns on. Committing zina as a married woman. We are condemning this. This is an abominable act. Knowing very well the kind of job your husband does, and you not being able to stay that long, I believe there should have been a table of discussion whereby you lay down your worries to your husband that he stays away for so long and that you cannot stand it. you are not able to control yourself as he stays this long, and that something should be done about it. Two, number one, patience is key. You should, whatever it is, you should have been patient. It's easy for us to sit outside and judge the situation, whether you have been patient or not. It's only Allah that knows. But whatever it is, the step you took is very wrong. The men are doing it, we are condemning it. The men are doing it, we are saying it. They are not listening, they are still doing it. But then, paying the person back or tit for tat is not the solution. We don't know whether whatever you did is a payback. Whether as the man goes away, as he stays that long, whether he is staying alone, whether he's also doing the same thing, whether he's cheating, whether he's going after women. Allahu Alam, we don't know. We don't know the kind of discussion you had with him concerning that. But for you taking also these steps, sleeping with another man in your matrimonial home, is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Let us fear Allah. Let us be conscious of Allah and the day of Qiyamah. This is abomination. This is adultery. Acts like this, we have to sit and condemn, just as we are condemning that of the men. Gone are the days if a woman is being caught in such an act, a lot of things happen. Sometimes they were women that their head were cut off. Some were banished from town. Some were isolated. Some were given all sort of punishment. But Alhamdulillah, Islam has stepped in. Civilization has come in. So even if these men are doing something that all of us are condemning, are cheating, it's not a yardstick for us we women to also pay back in the same situation. I know sometimes it's easy for us to say, okay, let us do it to them as they are doing to us, then they will know how it feels. But I don't think two wrongs make a right. So whoever finds himself in this situation as a woman, you have two options. It's either you stay to deal with the situation or you seek for divorce. After all, the religion says the longer a woman can stay in an hadith, the longer a woman can stay is 3 to 4 months. During the time of our prophets, when men leave their wives behind and go to war, and the women were being asked, I think Nana Aisha or Nana Afsa radiallahu anha was asked how long a woman can stay without her husband by her side, and then I believe it was mentioned 3 to 4 months. After those months, women cannot control themselves longer. You understand? So those times, the men were being advised to come back during that time or before that time, and sensitization were being given. But in our era, or in our era, I would say, or for the years that I have lived and that I have had maturity in my mind, I know women have been able to stay longer than that without their husbands, even though it's not right. But because of the fear of Allah, because of the love that they have for their husbands and the respect that they have for their homes, they have controlled themselves to stay that long. So, madam, when you realize you couldn't control yourself at this time, you had two options: to call the man and tell him you can no longer stay in the marriage, or this is it. Like I said, there should have been a discussion. That action is totally wrong. Okay? And two, let me step in with the side of the man. I think the man too should have been patient. One, the story was that when he came to the house, he quickly rushed to the woman, caught her, and then tied her to the wall. One, this is a fully grown adult. She's not a child. Tying her to the wall is like infringing on her human rights. She's not an animal. She's a human being, for crying out loud. She's your wife. Yes, she has committed a sin, but tying her to the wall is disrespect to her and even disrespect to Islam. Women do not deserve to be treated this way. Let's assume you were the one whom she caught in the act. Would she have tied you to the wall? No. We don't know whether you had children or not. If your children were to be around, would they be happy with you as their father tying their mother to the wall? No. So patience is key, as I said. 2, if you had been patient enough, the man wouldn't have run away. You could have had the opportunity to catch this man and give him the beatings of his life. And also, you could have been able to identify if or whether he's a known person or not. Because these people they can come as friends. It could be someone you know. It could be a relative, or better still, if it happens not to be someone you know, you could have caught him to beat him, give him the beatings of his life for doing such, sleeping with somebody's wife, whatever the situation may be. Like I said, patience is key. And in this situation also, you had 2 options. It's either you accept the situation as it is, or you divorce her. Tying her to the wall, had it not been the intervention of the neighbors, something drastic could have happened. Even though I heard the case was later reported to the police station, and I hope and I'm sure this will be deemed under a crime of passion. So if the neighbors had not intervened, something drastic could have happened. You could either accept her and continue with the situation, knowing very well that you left her for so long and that she couldn't control it. Is it something that he has been doing for so long? Is this something that you yourself have been suspecting? Is it something that you have confronted her on, that this is what I'm suspecting? Tying her to the wall was totally wrong. It's either you accept the situation and deal with it, or you divorce her. But not to tie her to the wall. For crying out loud, she's not an animal. Only Allah knows whatever is happening at your end. And we are not here to judge. Me, I'm not here to judge. Judgment is for Allah. Whether you have also been chased, or whether you have also been feeder or harnessed to her, only Allah knows. But you should have been patient enough to deal with the situation. And I want to tackle on that foolish, excuse my language, that guy, that culprit who took the advantage of a woman who husband was away, because he found her in a vulnerable state, because he I don't know how to say it, he took advantage of her vulnerability. Trust me, I know women are going through a lot in their homes, and every woman wants a listening ear. Maybe this woman fell under the trap of trusting in you, of giving her a listening ear, and you took advantage of the fact that she gave you the listening ear. Whether the advances came from her, whether the advances came from you, you should have known better that she's a married woman, and that it is a no-go boundary for you. Think about it. What you wouldn't be happy someone doing to you, do not do it to someone else. This is a very big, abominable act that Allah frowns on. Sleeping with someone's wife or sleeping with someone's husband is highly abominable. You felt her husband is not around, so and she trusted you, and you took advantage of that trust she had. That is why it's been said, keeping friends of the opposite sex, especially as a married man, especially as a married woman, is not acceptable, and that we should take cautions on it. Perhaps she confided in you as a friend. Who knows? And she thought she has had someone she could trust, and then Shaitan came in between the two of you. They said, where two people, where a male and a female exist, Shaitan is their third company. I want to believe this is one of the things that happen. Not to have to think that you did it consciously with this woman. Whether the advances came from her or from you, this is an act that shouldn't have happened. And shame on you. Any man who is taking advantage of any woman in such a situation because her husband is not around, you feel you have had an opportunity. It's a loophole for you. Wallahi, wait for Allah's judgment. And karma is real. Whatever you do to someone, it will surely be done to you, and then you see how it feels. So guys, I don't want this video to be long. I'll pause here. Before that, I just want to talk on keeping friends of the opposite sex as married women, as married men. It is not acceptable. Why? Because where there is a man and a woman, Shaitan is the third company. Anything could happen. Like I said, people have issues in their homes, and everybody wants a listening ear. Everybody wants a shoulder to cry on. Maybe that woman whom you feel you are comfortable with her, crying on her shoulder, sharing your problems with. Maybe that man whom you feel you are comfortable with, crying on his shoulder, crying on sharing your problem with. Be very careful. Be very careful, because it is very, very easy for two opposites to attract. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Let's all be conscious of each other. It's like a lion or a tiger and a meat. Let's all be conscious and be very careful, because most of these people who find themselves in this situation take advantage. It could be the man or the woman. Let's all be conscious of Allah. Let's all have the fear of Allah in whatever we are doing. Because when you are talking to someone and it becomes consistent, you become addicted to that person. Your heart becomes fond of that person. That is why it is easy for you to see someone sleeping with a friend's wife, just because that bond of communication has been created. And whenever that happens and Shaitan enters, anything could happen. It could come from the wife or it could come from the husband. So let's all be conscious of ourselves and have the fear of Allah. All these three people, the woman, the husband, and the man who took advantage of the situation, these three people, let's all be conscious of Allah, and let's have fear let's have the fear of Allah in whatever we are doing. So guys, I will stop it here. I hope we all drew lessons from this. So Assalamu alaikum. Whatever it is your comment is regarding the situation, please, you can leave it under the comment section so that we could all learn from it. Thank you so much. Wassalamu alaikum.